Hey guys, Dr. Anime here. This week we're going to be talking about chakra from Naruto and how chakra works within the series. So, we get sprinkles of information about chakra throughout the series, starting with what chakra is made of. Chakra is made of the physical energy that comes from each cell in the body, mixed with the spiritual energy coming from the mind. So, it's created from your experience and training. That's how spiritual energy works in the series. So we find that out around chapter 17 when Kakashi tells his group, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke, that their chakra control is terrible, or at least not that great yet. So he tells them to do the tree climbing training, which is when they focus chakra into their feet and they had to climb, pretty much walk up the tree. And in this training, it's supposed to teach them how to build up the exact amount of chakra that they need and how to pretty much manipulate it to certain parts of the body that they need to go to. So, say they do it to their feet, they could use that to boost the speed of their movement when they fight. And we see that done by Sasuke right after he pretty much masters the tree climbing exercise. So we see that from him there, and then we see that from Sakura in the Chunin exam, where she focused chakra into her feet for a boost of speed. Another thing we see chakra do is it boosts their physical strength too. We see that in a few instances where, such as Lee, I think he caught Sasuke's kick, and Sasuke remarked that there's that's some chakra within Lee's arm that blocked his kick. And then we see that with Sakura and Shippuden when Kakashi explained that Sakura was building up a large amount of chakra in her fist and then unleashing it at the moment of impact to do, I guess, I'm pretty sure it's called chakra enhanced strength. And if I remember correctly, in the novels, Kid Itachi focused chakra into his fist to destroy a boulder that was bigger than him. So there are instances where ninjas have used it for either their speed or strength. And going off that point, we also know that within the within the series, like it explained that the chakra itself flows through the chakra network, which are small. They're like vein like tubes that go throughout the body. But they're very small. Like they're not exactly veins. Only chakra flows through them, and as we find out later on from Tsunade, they pretty much connect to the cells. So there's cellular level, I guess. It seemed like it changes because I'm pretty sure it was a bit bigger than that, but there it connects to the cells, and if they're severed, you lose the ability to wield chakra. So we know that chakra flows only in the chakra network because if it didn't, then even if this chakra network was severed, you should still be able to use chakra, right? Another thing is we know that there's chakra gates and chakra points. The chakra points are along the chakra network, which can be only seen through the Byakugan, and they can be shut off or increase the chakra flow depending on how you hit them. And each chakra point is stated to be around the size of the head of a pin. So, gentle fists, which is used by the Hyuga clan, are what we mostly see actually able to hit the chakra points. And then Kaguya, yeah, Kaguya used, I think, was it her hair? She shot needle. I had to go back and it's been a while, but I know she did it. She shot like I think hair needles that went and hit Sasuke's Hawk's chakra points. So we also know that animals have chakra points, and we know that they have chakra points because they have chakra too. We have like summonings like the toads, snakes, slugs, all of them. They have chakra. Like Gamabuta in part 1 stated that he had chakra multiple times. When Naruto was out of energy, he said that he could have gave Naruto some of his own power but he just gave him to the hospital so he could recover that way instead. And then when Naruto was fighting against Gaara, he also said that both Naruto and he used up a large amount of their chakra. So we know that they have chakra. And Akamaru, Kiba's dog, was stated to have chakra. So we know that pretty much all living beings in Naruto have chakra, which only flows in Chakra Network, so they all have chakra networks. And going off that, we go to chakra gates. The chakra gates, there's 8 of them that reside at different parts of the body. There's limiters to the chakra flow. So you would have to train very hard to be able to open just one of them. And we find out that Lee was able to open up to 5 gates in part 1, and I think he goes to 6th gate in Shippuden. And then Kakashi looks like he opened up one of the gates while he was training in part 1, but we don't see him do that ever again in the series. Now, a lot of people think that the chakra gates are a huge power boost, but they're really not in the grand scheme of things. It is stated that once you open all 8 gates, you have more power than the 5 Kages, but we don't really see that. And I say that because Lee went 5th gate against Gaara. Still lost. And this is base Gaara. I would put base Gaara high, like around high tuning. But he wasn't like fully sane of mind, so maybe mid tuning because he's way stronger at the end of part 1. And Lee even stated this. So he couldn't even really fully beat a Gaara that was just in his base. That tells me that like it's not that big of a boost. Because if he was like Jonin tier, he should be able to do a lot better than that. Because we see Guy come in just in his base, and Guy base is Jonin, and he just wiped away Gaara's sand like it was nothing. Another thing is, we see it from Guy himself. He was pushed to the 6th gate to beat a weakened Kasami, and Kasami was a Kasami clone who only had like 30% of his chakra. So, and he used water clone in that battle. Like he created 3 water clones to stop Neji, Lee, and Tenten from interfering. And a water clone is 1/10 of the power. So 1/10 out of a 30% Kasame. Come on, like he's not even close to his half of his power, and Guy had to go to the 6th gate to beat him. That tells you a little like if his base is Jonin, and he has to go to the 6th gate to beat someone whose base is Kage, and they're using 30% of their full power. That should tell you how big or small the gates are. So their next fight, we have a weakened Kasame who was pretty much like all pruned up. Now he absorbed chakra from B, and he absorbed chakra from another Jonin. But Kasame has a huge amount of chakra. A huge. Like he is called the tailless Bijou. Now, it's not really known of how what chakra was absorbed from B. If it was B's base chakra, then Kasame wouldn't have been at full power. Now, it doesn't look like he absorbed the eight tails chakra because B still used it to throw Guy, but then he collapsed. But then when they use up a large amount of chakra or lose it like absorbed, they do feel fatigued, and he would get more energy if the eight tails gave him more chakra, but we don't really see the eight tail interaction, so we can't say for certain if it was both of their chakra or just B's chakra. But it was stated that it was B's chakra that was absorbed. So I'm gonna go off the fact that it was just B's chakra that was absorbed. So there's even if it okay. So say he at highball, he absorbed even the eight tails, some of the eight tails chakra to where he was at full chakra reserve. B still had Samahata, which is Kasami's sword, which will allow him to fight at his full capabilities. He could fuse with the sword, which will allow him to absorb a huge amount of chakra, like I think 6 tails worth of chakra from B when they fought. So the moment Guy even got close to him, Guy might have had all his chakra already absorbed out because Guy is not Bijou level chakra. So when Guy went 6th gate and was fighting him, the moment he got close, his chakra would have been gone. So I still don't see Guy being Kage tier at, like even with the 7th gate. And this is further backed up by the fact that Kakashi stated that Guy finally surpassed him after he awakened the 8th gate. So that means 7th gate Guy was lower than Kakashi by Kakashi's own estimate. And Kakashi is a smart dude. He might not be the best teacher around, but he's a smart dude. So we know for a fact that, you know, he's not, like, the gates aren't that big of a power boost. They're pretty big. Like, if it's a Jonin fighting another Jonin and they use the gates, like, they have a higher chance of winning depending on, you know, different skill levels and jutsus used. Because it's not an ABC kind of series where you're, like, 3 Jonins, if Jonin A beat Jonin B, then that means they could beat Jonin C. No, it depends on their skills and how well their stats match against each other with their skills and jutsus and fighting styles. And we see weaker ninjas beat stronger ninjas. Like, Naruto beat people who were stronger than him by using his different tactics. I mean, he beat Neji just because Neji turned off his Byakugan in the tuning exam. If it was a death match, then Neji probably wouldn't have done that, and he would have noticed that Naruto was on the ground. So, I mean, it just depends on, like, what situation that they're in. Now, going back to chakra, we know that chakra could not be in the chakra network. It starts off as stamina, as explained in chapter 90. And it has to be molded from the spiritual energy and physical energy into chakra. So you will start out as 100% stamina, and you can either just use the stamina or use it as chakra, or both. Like, taijutsu fighters would usually use just stamina, but they could use chakra as well. So they would have to mold the chakra to use chakra. And the total amount of stamina you have could be increased depending on your training and whatnot. Now, Naruto has a large amount of stamina and chakra, because his chakra would come from his stamina, and he's always stated to have a large chakra reserve, so he would have a large stamina, and he's usually the one who's able to fight longer than most people, as shown in the tuning arc when he was fighting who were those ninjas? The ninjas that made a bunch of genjutsu copies of themselves. Naruto made shadow clones that transformed into Sakura, Kabuto, and Sasuke, and they were all fighting for, like, I think hours. And even after that, he was still able to fight. and they were amazed by the fact that he had like such a large stamina. So we know that they can survive even without chakra being in their chakra network. As long as they have stamina, they should be fine. But if they use it all up, they can die. Now, we see sensory ninjas like shut off their chakra flow, such as Tobirama and Kairin. Tobirama did it in a flashback while talking to Hashirama. He didn't really turn off, he just didn't have chakra in his network because he was just like, relaxing in the village talking to his brother. So when he was asked if he sensed anything, he said, "No, I'm not needing any chakra right now." And then Kairin, she, in the Kage summit, she had to shut off her chakra flow so that she wouldn't be sensed by the Raikage's subordinate who was trying to sense them out. So we know that they can shut off their chakra flows and just be fine. It's more of their stamina. If they use that up, then they'll die, like Kakashi did. So this is more of... Oh, and another thing I think a lot of anime watchers don't know is that chakra in the manga is yellow, but then in the anime is blue for the most part. Of course, there's also purple chakra, red chakra, depending on the characters and stuff. There's green chakra for sage mode here and there, but like Naruto's chakra was stated to be yellow in the manga, and we actually see it yellow in the last Naruto the Last. His Reze Shuriken was yellow. That's how it was originally supposed to be. So yeah, that's the video about chakra. Let me know if you want me to cover any other things about Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, stuff like that. Just hit me up in the comments section below. Like, subscribe the video. Catch you guys next time. Hey guys, I came back because I forgot to mention Chakra Nature, which is when a ninja transforms their chakra into one of the 5 elements. It could be water, fire, earth, wind, and lightning. And they have to go undergo harsh training to learn to do it, unless they have like some talent. Like Sasuke was able to do it within a month while also doing other training. He did it with lightning. Naruto had to use like thousands of clones within a couple of weeks, I think, to learn how to create wind chakra. And there's also yin release and yang release. Now, yang release is used in certain jutsus as well, such as Choji's expansion jutsu, and yin is used in genjutsu and Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu. And then there's also jutsus where you could combine elements if you have the Kage Gengai bloodline limit. So like Haku's ice would be water and wind mixed together to make ice. Then there's wood release, which would be earth and water mixed together to make wood. There's a couple of other like fire and earth to make lava from the 5th Mitsukage. And then I'm pretty sure Gaara's sand, even though it came from his Biju, Shukaku, but I'm pretty sure it's earth and wind to make sand. Because he does have those elements. Like in the data book, he has earth, lightning, fire. Wait, did he have fire? No, he didn't have fire. He had earth, wind, lightning, sand, and magnetic release. Now, magnetic release would be his earth and lightning. And he got that from his dad, because his dad could also do that. And so that only means that the earth and wind would be for the sand, right? So he has 5 elements, which is pretty cool. Naruto later on gets all 5, thanks to the bijus that he has. But I'd rather him have wind back in part 1, and then learn water when he was with Jiraiya, or maybe water and earth when he was with Jiraiya. I just felt like it would have been a bit better than Sasuke could have came in with another element as well, maybe earth or water or something. Because he has a Sharingan, so he can only copy jutsus that he himself can physically do. So if he's trying to copy, because he only had fire and lightning, so if he sees Kakashi's water, he could copy the moveset, but he can't use it because he doesn't have water chakra nature. So That's why Kakashi has all 5 elements. He has all 5, and he can use yin and yang release. So that's why he's the copy like the copy ninja. Like he can copy all jutsus as long as they're not Keke Genkais, for the most part. And there's shape manipulation, which is like being able to transform your chakra into different shapes. There's Sasuke Shidori, aka Kakashi Shidori, which uses shape and chakra nature to transform and shape it into the form that it is. And Sasuke does that a step further to make his Shidori needles and make the body Shidori that comes out of it. Lightning comes off his body if you get too close. Naruto has it with his Rasengan and his Rasengan variations for the most part. Who else? Sakura has done that when she made chakra blades, but she only did that a few times. It was more who was it? Kabuto, who more have like chakra blades off his hand for combat. But I'm going to change it now. I just wanted to add that part in, and I'll catch you guys next time.